I'm really excited to welcome you for another feature focus monthly changelog stream. We've got an exciting show in store for you today. We're going to be talking and doing a deep dive into audiences. We're going to be looking at a streamer demo mode. We're going to be looking at variable schemas. We're going to have a gift card giveaway. We're also going to be doing a sneak peek into some exciting new releases over on the DevCycle platform. But to get things off, he's been waiting backstage for like a half an hour now to get live on stream. And so I really want to get him up here, if only so that I can stop trying to troubleshoot things for just a minute. I'm going to pull up Parth. Parth, how's it going, man?
Everything's good. I think everything's good. Just a little technical difficulties, but we're good now.
I love it. You can't do a stream if you don't have technical difficulties. And one of the things that I love is, like, of course, it's the first stream that we officially have a member of our engineering team on, and Twitch is just like, nope, sorry, we can't have another engineer on Twitch. It's just like there's too many technical guys on Twitch already. So Parth, I'm gonna get things sorted on side of technical things and kind of pull myself off the stream for a minute, and just maybe you want to introduce a little bit about what DevCycle is, and a little bit about you and your background and what you do here at DevCycle.
Yeah, sure. So hi everybody, my name is Parth Suthar. I am a full stack developer at DevCycle, and we at DevCycle are a feature flagging platform that we're trying to just create cool things. We take pride in being developer first and built by developers for developers kind of thing. So we want to make it easy for developers to use things. Our integrations are kind of all focused around that. A little bit about me: I did software engineering from Ontario Tech University here near Toronto, and yeah, I've been loving working at DevCycle. I think I've been here for around 8 months now. Yeah, and it's been going great. It's been nice. I'm really excited to talk about some of the features that I've personally worked on, and want to just like kind of showcase them and kind of have more people see where things go. And yeah, we have Andrew back.
Awesome. Sorry, Bart. You do a lot today. I'm over on Twitch rating I'm rating my channel with all of people that were over on our other channel. This is quite the experience. There we go. I love it.
It's the full streamer mode today.
It's like full streamer mode. Thank you so much for that introduction, Parth. Super excited to have you on the stream today. For those of you who have never tuned in, or you're like, hey, I somehow ended up on Andrew's channel. Who are you? What is this thing? This is actually the most true to my early in the streams. I'm always like, hey, if you happen to like find this like random stream, this is a good day for it. DevCycle's feature focus is a monthly changelog stream where we look at some of the exciting new features that have been rolled out on DevCycle feature flag management platform over kind of the past month. They're just things that we're really excited about that maybe you have not seen on the platform. So we're going to go through 3 or 4 features today. At the end of the stream, if you're still around, I'm going to be giving away some gift cards, and you'll have to stick around to find out how that's going to happen. But I think people have been waiting. Everybody's been waiting to like see the stream and see the features. So let's jump into it with our feature focus segment of the stream. I'm gonna kind of turn things over to you, Parth, to like take things over, walk through some of your features, and just get your screen share up there, and we can take it away from there.
Sounds good. Share screen.
I'll pull you up on there. This is where you're on a Mac and you're gonna have to like restart the stream.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we are. All right, Parth, you go do that. This is like our stream of technical difficulty. So you go do that. I'm gonna be here, just welcoming some of our folks while you get ready. Like I said, if you are just jumping into the stream, Welcome to Feature Focus. We are here looking at some of our favorite features on the DevCycle platform. Our special guest presenter today is Parth, one of our full stack engineers here on the DevCycle team. As you may notice, we're streaming here on my personal Twitch channel today. That is because we had some technical difficulties that stopped us from streaming on our regular Twitch channel that I've now got to figure out. And Parth is back. So let's see if it works this time. We'll see if we get an error-free ability to share.
Yes.
Hey, there we go. You
Perfect.
are live. All right.
Yes.
So Parth, it is and Parth, I noticed that you may be using a browser that people don't recognize. So what is that browser that you're using?
Yes, this is a great new browser that I think me and a lot of others on the engineering team have been using recently. It's the Arc browser, and I just love the fact that you can do things like this and also have like two screens open at the same time. You can like the sidebar goes away and like you have the whole kind of screen in focus whenever you want it, and it's like it feels very nice and different to use, and it's like kind of like it's one of those things where the browser has been the same for so long, and it's like this really puts it in a different perspective, and I love using it. Like all of my pin tabs will stay here. All the stuff that I need will stay where I need them, and it's like it's really easy to go back and forth and things.
Amazing. Always like to do a shout out to Arc. So what is the first feature that we're going to be looking at today, Parth? Where are we gonna kick things off?
Yes. So first thing we're going to do is, if you have taken a look at the top navigation bar, there's a new button added. It's called Audiences, and we're going to be talking about like what audiences are and why we may need them. So, first of all, like audiences are the way we define audiences is like kind of a targeting rule that you want consistent throughout like multiple things. So this could be kind of if you want to target a specific set of like individuals, or let's say if you have a small team at work and you only want your changes to be shown to that team because you want to get things like you're on development work and kind of working on things. Or maybe you have like a set of internal users, like anybody at the company. So like anybody at DevCycle, we would have like we have an audience that's like everybody at DevCycle, and like we have also like teams and like kind of departments and everything, and like makes things a lot easier, and like we can kind of control things a lot cleaner that way. And yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and create one, and we'll actually put it in a feature and like see how easy it becomes and how easy it is to reuse a lot of things. So yeah, let me just get into it.
Awesome.
So I'm going to go ahead and create an audience. Let's call it like devs, but let's make it a little bit more unique. So devs on Android. Developers on Android platform, and we'll create that. Go in here. Now when you created an audience, you get like you need to define an audience, and then so I'm gonna go ahead, define an audience. I'm going to say user email contains Parth and Andrew, but because we're also on Android, I'm gonna have another definition, which will be platform is Android, and I'm going to go ahead and save it. Now we have an actual audience to use, which kind of make sure that this stays the same. So let's go ahead and the feature. I'll create a new feature. Allow profile editing, and this is a new feature. Profile page tag. And let's just create it. So just created a new feature, super quick. We'll go to production right away, and I'm going to add Android devs, or allow Android devs. And I can just go ahead. So I could go ahead and do like Parth, Andrew here as well, but that just kind of seems a little like too much, right? Like I could definitely do this, and it'd be like user email contains and blah blah blah. But to make things easier and to make things like repeatable to use, like we have a lot of features that we want to make sure that we're testing internally and like kind of seeing things and kind of testing things and see how they goes before we push out to everybody. It would be annoying to kind of create these all the time. So you can go to audiences and then just use devs on Android. Now, when this shows up, you can click it and get a read-only view of what your audience definition is. And if you do feel like changing it, you can click edit and it will open up the different page. For our use case, I'm going to save this. Oh, need to serve on and save it. And actually, just going to show another thing that we have on the audience detail page, which is the feature usage. So yeah, we should have, yeah. It shows that this audience is being used in this feature. So if you were to, let's say, make changes, so maybe I want to also add app version is 1.3.2. And when I save it, it'll ask me, hey, this feature is, this audience is actually being used in an active feature. Do you still want to proceed? And it's like, you can see what feature it is. There's like a list of, this is a populated list. And you're like, yeah, good with allowing everybody in there. And like, let's say your Android developers are increasing, then you can just kind of add all of them here and yeah, go through that. So that's kind of like the audiences, like how it's used in our features, how it's used as a whole. And yeah, there's like something that we've just put out and we're really proud to be using it and like kind of see where people go with it. So
yeah. So
yeah.
I'm curious, Parth, like as part of this process, so you're in engineering,
Yeah.
so you're not necessarily looking at this from like the product of like how people are using. So how tough was this to build out? Like how tough was this as like a feature within the DevCycle platform?
So in terms of like it being tough, it was because like we didn't have anything like an audience before. It was kind of creating a like a rule set for audiences and like kind of making sure that the bucketing logic also considers like audiences being used in there. And so it was like kind of, there was a lot of like back end work that went into it. In terms of the front end code, it was very, I would say it wasn't too much, it wasn't too bad. It was like adding a new model for audiences and then kind of we were like reusing a lot of these. So if you, as you can see, the targeting rules, audiences are basically a set of targeting like rules that you want to take with you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like, it makes it easier to do that. So it's like it's reusing concepts, but kind of we just had to add another check in there just to make sure that our like we're actually we like our APIs and everything know what audience is and like making sure our logic actually works with when you have a new field of in the definition.
I love it. Amazing. So
Yeah.
audiences like brand, this is literally like the newest feature. Like this literally just came out, right? So
yeah.
Yeah, and if you are like wanting to know more about this, if you're watching the stream, you're like, oh, audience is really cool, and you want just like a little backgrounder, if you click on that little bell icon in like the upper right hand corner that says view changelog, you can actually view kind of like the explainer for where this comes from. But also I'm going to now like clip this video and add this part of this video to that explainer because I feel like this was so much better and now gives people like a really solid walkthrough of how to use audiences. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how people start using this.
Yeah, same. I really want to see like it, like we're internally using it already. And I know some of our customers are also using it. So we'll just like kind of want to see how people take this one step further.
I love it. Parth, I gotta say, you're also making this like this stream where like everything has gone wrong. You're making it so smooth because you're running everything. You got the screen. You know exactly what you're doing. Like you're coming on more streams, Parth. That's really what this is showing me.
Sign me up.
This is it. I'm just gonna say, I mean, Kobe and Mark and Vic and Dan. I mean, you gotta level up your guest hosting if you're gonna come on here. You gotta be able to like really take the reins when I'm trying to troubleshoot things. Anyways, so that's audiences, really exciting new stuff. Super cool. What's next? What's next on our list of stuff to take a look at?
Yeah, next thing we're going to see is this new thing we call, or not, it's not so new, as like you've probably seen it being used, or you maybe don't even realize that you're using it, because I made sure that people were forced into it. So yeah,
that's the spirit. If you don't want to use it, too bad, because it's going to be default setting for you.
Yep, it's going to be default setting for you. So if you click on the settings page on the DevCycle dashboard and go to early access on the left hand side, you can see all of the early access features that we have. So there's like dark mode. I can enable it. I'm gonna keep it off for now. I don't like it as much. There's also the enable demo or streamer mode. So this is what we're kind of focusing on today. I'm going to turn it off just to show everybody what it looks like without it, and then turn it on and show like the difference between it. So let's go back to our like allow profile editing feature. And if we are, let's say, working on it, or if you are streaming and you have like, if you're using DevCycle, you don't want some of these things to go out in public, right? Like you don't want the server key out in public. You don't want your your information. So like if it's an email or something, you don't want that out in public. So what we do is we basically introduce this streamer mode or demo mode. So like when you're doing demos for companies, or when you're doing like streaming, or if you just want to just be like add that little extra sense of like security, what you could do is, another thing is, without the demo mode, we have this blur feature. So you can kind of hover, and then we have a click button. So, but when you hover, the whole key is shown. So that is kind of what we wanted to not do it. So I'm going to enable this for myself and then save preferences. And if I go to profile now, you will not see my email. And same thing with like feature. If I open up the feature and if I go to code samples again, this key is not there anymore. Or the key is like starred out and is like a lot smaller. But if I click the key button, it will copy the actual key. Here, I'll give you, I'll double check that this works as it should. So let me go to settings and then just, paste it. It still works. Another thing, if I copy the whole code block, you can see it doesn't actually have the key, but when I copy it, it will have the actual key. So I'm using this as I create a new project just so that I can kind of share and show everything that's been here. So I can actually delete all these keys as soon as we're done with the stream. So there's no issue there.
Love it. What brought this about, Parth? Like, what was the thing that really was like, oh, this is a really useful feature for us to have on the platform?
Yes. So it was actually when we were sponsoring a lot of streamers, and also when we realized that we are doing demos for a lot of the companies. Like we do demos for, like, let's say one of our client that we already have, maybe a new team wants to use DevCycle. So we may be doing a demo to show them how, like what features we have and like kind of what we do. And a lot of these times, these demos do get recorded, and we don't want our keys that we are using, like code samples, because we have code samples built into the feature page, and we don't want those to be getting like out in public. And it gets harder for like the server side keys, because server side keys are kind of going to be very like protected at all times, because it'll be on your server instance. But client and mobile keys, like those are they are going to be in your actual app, so they will be like sometimes you need to hard code these keys. But we realized that server side keys, we do not want to hard code any of these keys, and we saw that like people are kind of using this, are using our platform and using everything to like put it out in the world. Like even when we make videos, we don't want to be making videos with some of these things. We have like a real-time demo app that we use, and that also takes like you take the key and then you put it in, and then it kind of gets all the variables from there. Like, we don't want that to be like out in public for anybody to be using. So it's like things like that, like just kind of adding an extra layer of security. So now all of these keys just have the copy button. You can just copy it and then you just paste it here, and like it's good.
I love it. I love it. I like this idea also. If you're out there watching this stream right now and you're saying to yourself, streamer mode, I've never thought of streaming. I need a great content source for streaming. And now we've given it to you. Just stream about DevCycle, add some feature flags to your projects. Yep. I can do it, and I have no idea what I'm doing when I touch code. So if I can do it, you can certainly do it. Thank Parth for it. Or if you hate it, send hate mail to Parth. You can send that. You can send that to hatemail@devcycle.com. And we'll ensure that it gets processed to the right place. So I love it. Streamer mode. I personally love it. Despite the technical difficulties today, I do kind of do this for a living. What are some other of the things that are in here? So I'm noticing like there's some other beta features here. There's dark mode, and I gotta say, Parth, do you ever notice the funny thing about enabling dark mode is the beta feature access thing isn't dark in dark mode?
Yeah.
There's like a part of me that wanted to go into our dashboard code and just change it myself, but I kind of love it. I love that the area where you enable dark mode in our platform never turns into dark mode. It's kind of
that's something. But yeah, we don't talk about that right now.
Literally recorded now for everybody forever. Somebody will clip that.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, but what else is in here?
So we have to show compromised client-side tokens, and like it's basically like, do we want to show you the navbar that says, hey, your client-side token is being like compromised? And so we do this by having a secret scanning thing with GitHub, where any code you push on GitHub, if it has the DevCycle key, you will get a notification saying, hey, this key, we've seen it before, kind of thing. So it's like, if you I think, see, like one compromised key is like, there is a compromised key already.
That's always good when you work for the company and you've got compromised keys. So folks, if you're out there saying to yourself, oh no, I've been warned to have a compromised key. If Parth has a compromised key, then it's okay. One is good, but you can fix them. You'll know to be able to go fix them. You'll get the notification of what key it is and what you need to change. So that's fantastic.
Yes, exactly. So it's like, if you like, and this is to like suppress the warnings for client side, and that's kind of all it does. Is like, you can turn it off or turn it on and you're good. And then like these other features, like and I wanted to actually showcase our early access thing, where it's like, there's a lot of like, there may be features that just get added in here and you might not kind of see it. So it's like, maybe you can hop in here and see what new features that beta are there as part of beta access for us.
Yeah, I dig it. I love this. See, Parth, you're bringing bonus features to Feature Focus, which I love. This is like, come on, man. You are like, we're gonna have a stream. We'll figure out a name. I don't know what we're gonna call it. It's not gonna be Feature Focus. I keep making up streams with people. Nick and I have got a stream launching next week. I got a stream launching with Mark in a couple of weeks. So Parth, we got to figure this out.
Nice. Yes, we do.
Awesome. So that's feature 2. What's feature 3? There's another thing, and this is, I think our third one is something that's been out for a little while as well, but hasn't gotten enough love from the DevCycle community. So what's the third feature for today's stream?
Yes. So here, like just to showcase like the Arc browser one more time, I have like a double window open here just to showcase what's happening. But basically, there's this thing that we added, which is called variables, or we've had variables, but like we added this thing called variable schemas. So let me go ahead and create a string feature, this variable, and I'm just going to create the string. And I'm actually showing you how it's done before talking about it, because I want to like talk about it with it happening. So we added this thing called like variable schemas. Now the variable schemas are variables in features are easy to kind of add whatever value you want to it, and we want to make sure that whatever values that you add to your variables you have a guard around it. Now, there could be a lot of reasons for having this. So there could be a reason that you maybe it's a breaking change to add a third or a variable value outside of the kind of the ones that you already have in your code. And another way of this could be like, let's say, to make sure that you don't have breaking changes, you can have it so that, or let's say if non-engineering team users are using it, they will not know what's in the code. So they will need a way to guide them and tell them that, hey, you are kind of going outside of the use cases of this variable. So let me go ahead and I'll show you different types of schemas that we have. So for a string variable, we have like enums to be used, like basically just a list of values to be used. There's also regex. I'm just gonna cheat the system, or not cheat the system.
I was gonna say, are you about to do regex live on stream? That's like a flex if I've ever seen one.
I'm going to do something else live.
That's the right answer. That's the right answer.
So let's reset variable schemas. So the numbers, we have enums for numbers as well. So something could be like, let's say if you have a feature like a feature flagged pricing page, right? And you only want numbers to be like in a certain like range or only selected numbers. You can use our schemas to make sure that they're in a range and nobody comes in and like adds a extra zero or like accidentally adds an extra zero, right? Like it's kind of preventing those things from happening. There's also like JSON schemas that we have, which are, I think, very cool. I have a JSON schema already here.
I was gonna say now. I was like, you know what? It's not as big of a flex as a regex, but like if you are doing a JSON schema, like from just doing classic JSON, I would have believed you.
Yeah. I'll need to copy this schema. The thing is, like, I don't know it off the top of my head all the time, so that's the thing. But we use kind of, you can create a schema, and then once you create a schema, you can save it. So I'm just going to create a string schema because that's the easiest to do. And I do not want to get my coding skill challenged at the moment.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's just say valid values for feature focus string. And yeah, you need to have valid values. So we'll do string 1, feature 2, and then string 45. So I just put random numbers in here. And now we have example values in here, which are basically going to be anything that you selected. So this is like showcase people that there's an example value here. And this could be like your default in cases. So it's like, if you don't want users to go ahead and put a random value, you can just be like, hey, use one of the example values, right? So example values will be the initial values for each version. There you go. We'll save this. Now that we have this variable saved, I'm actually going to just add that variable as part of my feature on one side. That's why I wanted to like keep it open. Do I have more variables? I do, features, but let's just use this one. Add variable, and yeah, choose from the string. So now here, let me show you something else. So the valid values for this feature focus string, click here for definition, and it's not opening.
This is a day of technical difficulties, man. This is the day. Don't worry, it's not you. I feel like I stepped on a crack, or like I like saw a black cat, or walked under a ladder, broke a mirror. You know, all of that.
Look at this. Could be, very well could be. But yeah, you can select your values, and now even though it's a string, you can only have these values, right? So just add a variable, you're done. Now, the thing that I wanted to show you is I already created this JSON schema just so that I'm not like kind of copy pasting stuff and like kind of finding things at the last moment. But you can see here, this how it works. So because the JSON schema is kind of bigger than normal, and it's not just like, hey, this is the one liner if it's like enums or something. You have a whole object, and you can have required fields, additional property, like if you want additional properties or not. So outside of these properties, so like we just have first name, last name, and age as like our example schema. And if I put anything outside of it, so if I go like title and stream expert, when I try to update it, it'll be like, you can't have additional values. So then we'll have to remove this.
Stream expert. Not only are you leaving me as variation on, but also stream expert. Parth, man, you've got the job. You've got the job. You don't need to. I mean, continue, but you got. That's awesome though. I feel like this is a thing, right? Is so often you might want to go in and create these variables, and like you're absolutely right. Not everybody's going to understand what they can and can't put in. So like creating those schemas are so important.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the best thing we have is like making sure that we put guards around these things, where like even like internally, like if one engineer goes in and creates like a JSON variable, we want to make sure that you can't just give it any other value, because that will basically break things in your code. The types won't match up, or something will break, and you don't want things to break when you're trying to do something. So better to just like kind of limit things and use checks and bounds where possible. So now this will work. And yeah, that's kind of the that's all I had in mind for the variable schema stuff.
I love it. So Parth, this one is huge because like so many people think of feature flags, and I've been focusing a lot on like documentation over the past couple of days. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, but this idea of feature flags as something beyond just an on-off switch, right? Like so much people think of like, oh, I've got a conditional statement in my code. It turns a feature on and off, but having that control over what you're actually changing and the way that you're changing it is so powerful. And I think these JSONs, like these schemas really allow you to see the full power of this in like a safe and predictable way.
Yeah, and I think the way that we have everything set up, where like you have variables with values and variations which actually control those values. So it's like you inside of a feature. So it's like the way everything is set up is like kind of making it easier to not only like have multiple like you'll be okay to have multiple variables in one feature. So it's like I think in the audience kind of feature that when we were working on it, that's only one feature flag, and it has like 3 or 4 variations, because there are different things that we add to it. It's like only show read only show editing only, and like only, or show both, or show like only internal access to some of these things. And it's like or the pop-up the pop-up that came up is like, even if you can create audiences, maybe we didn't want to add audiences as part of our as part of like targeting rules in your feature. So it's like blocking that and like just adding more things, but all that is like encapsulated in one feature. So it's like you can essentially turn one feature off completely and it'll go back to what you had, but you can have more variable values and kind of control things that way.
I love it. Oh my God. Parth, man, you're killing it. You're killing it today. So I love that. Those are 3 exciting features: audiences, streamer mode, and just sort of like our beta feature access, and then our schemas. So really exciting. If you haven't checked them out yet, definitely check them out. If you love them, let me know. If you hate them, let Parth know. But we're really, really excited. There we go. We're really excited to kind of have all these new features, and we would love feedback. So please let us know. Yes. Speaking of feedback, this brings us to one of my favorite parts of the stream, in addition to just having Parth on stream, which will now just be my my thing. It'll be like, I need to have a good day. Let's bring Parth on.
Uh,
Is our roadmap. And so this future features is a section where we look at what is on our roadmap. And what's really exciting about this is I actually will be. Can I open just a tab? No, I gotta open the whole window. Let's make this full screen. There we go. We're actually going to be, I think, starting a new stream or a Discord event that I've like temporarily called On the Road Again, which is going to be led by our product team. And basically, we're going to be doing this kind of product roadmap update on a more regular basis. But yeah, I just want to take the chance to kind of show folks our roadmap. So here's our roadmap. Here are things that are kind of like going on. So we try and keep this as up to date as we possibly can. Just to give you an idea of things that are currently in progress on our roadmap right now, things that are coming up as well. So some of these things are like this later section is like less up to date, but definitely like our next and now section are fairly up to date. And I think now is really exciting because we have two really cool things that are coming very soon. Biggest one, VS Code integration. So pumped for this. When Vic was on one of the streams and he was demoing the CLI, just got really excited because you didn't have to leave. You didn't have to leave your IDE to actually do your development. And I was doing some stuff with the CLI the other day, and I was just so excited. I didn't have to go back and forth between the dashboard. And so this integration, making it a deeper connection between there is like super, super exciting. And then it was just getting a demo just before I like left the meeting I was in about simple self-targeting. And so this is going to be a way for you to target yourself with a feature. And so like this is basically this way to make it easier for testing. So like you don't necessarily want to have to go in and create a targeting rule every time in order to do this. Like that's, or I mean, if you do, you want it to be easy, not like go in and select your email and then part of this thing. And so this is a really exciting new thing that we're working on right now. So yeah, I'm excited about this one just because I'm often targeting just myself with things that I'm doing. And so even if just as an internal tool, this is super, super helpful. And then another big thing that's coming up, I mean, the GitLab integration is going to be good, but I think the audit logging, this is going to be huge. And I know this is being worked on right now. And so this will show you changes that happen to a feature's history. So like basically if you are having a big team working on feature flags and things are changing and something breaks and you want to know who to yell at, that's what audit logging is here for. It is here to direct your anger at the right person, but also just for you to be able to check and see what is going on in your features and when they change. And so this is going to be coming out really soon. And I say really soon, not actually knowing exactly when it's going to be released, but I have seen a lot of chatter in our internal Slack. And so I think that there's some really cool stuff coming up there. Which of these are you most excited about between like VS Code, simple self-targeting, and like the audit logging? Which are you most excited about, Parth?
I actually can't pick one, but like even though I am working and my team is working on one of them, I cannot pick one because like the feature level audit logging is, I think, very, very important because like you go in and you're like, who changed this, right? And it could be someone in like product or someone in management or like anybody could just go in and change things. And it's like if you created a feature and if it's showing a wrong variation, you're gonna be like, oh, this is not what I did. So like who changed this? So having that or like having like anything like in has a history would be amazing. So what my team is working on is, if you go to now, we're working on the simple self-targeting, and this is something we're also excited about, like kind of making things like making yourself be the target or targeting yourself a certain variation however you want to do it. And I think it's going to be really cool. Like we were just talking about all this and like kind of the going into the details about everything. So it's like it's really nice. Also VS Code integration, like we've had like a somewhat of a VS Code integration, but I think that didn't really, like, it was like a very like a small like a hackathon project, and now we can actually see it being built, and it's like actually gives me a lot of like excitement because like I love the CLI. I've worked on the CLI too, and it was amazing. And now like having a VS Code integration, so like everything in just one place with my code. Like even if it's like it can help me not make a variable that somebody else is using, right? And it's like instead of me like going to dashboard and checking, oh, does this variable exist? Like I can just do it in one place. Like there's a lot of things happening, and I think as like overall, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Few things that come out, and we're really excited. And
I'm just waiting for somebody as soon as this VS Code integration comes out for them to be like, can you do a Notepad++ integration? Likely that's not going to happen because like no developer in their right mind is using that. But like I can definitely see like somebody being like, can you make a JetBrains integration? Which would be fun. But I do feel like even on our team internally, like there's a lot of people that stand for JetBrains, and like
yes.
I'm here for it because like I'm a fan of what they do, but definitely VS Code is my home. So I'm very excited about this too. And I will say, like to echo what you're saying about the CLI, I arguably, if I didn't need to do demos, I would probably never touch the dashboard again as a developer. Like you just don't need to. Our CLI is so rich. There's a couple of things like creating in your organization and doing organization settings and stuff, like you can't do that, but basically everything else on the platform you can do, which is super exciting.
And yeah, if I wasn't working on like front end work, and when I'm not, I always just use the CLI, because like if I'm creating a demo app or something or like kind of just testing some stuff, then I'm always just using the CLI. It's so much easier. It's like one command gets you what you need instead of 5-6 clicks, and it's like, oh, I got what I need. I got the SDK key.
Right. And I feel like that's it. I feel like it actually, you need, so if you're using the dashboard, and we're a very intuitive dashboard, so like shout out to our front end team. But when you're using the dashboard, you need to know where to go for each of the steps. And then there's a lot of prompts that you kind of have to follow. And there's a lot of text that's there. And if you notice, try out the CLI and just go to like create a new feature. And it's just, you'll notice that it's a little bit more straightforward. I will say my only gripe with the CLI, so if there's anybody on the CLI team that's on the stream watching it, there's some places where you need to click space to select the like property that you're trying to change. And I often found myself like clicking enter and being like, nothing changed. What's going on? And then I was like, oh, I gotta click space. So so that's my only complaint about the CLI. But that kind of is a nice segue into, do you have complaints? Do you have ideas? Do you have features you would like to see on the DevCycle platform? Well, this is your opportunity to make a feature request, because you can actually visit our roadmap, and I'm going to put the... Oh, there we go. There's where you can visit our roadmap up on the screen there. So just go to bit.ly/DevCycle roadmap. And if you click over on this little plus button here, and I think it's different on the depending on the view you're seeing, but you click here, and you can actually submit a new idea. I don't even know, do you need to have it? Yeah, you do need to add an email address. But if you add this literally goes directly onto our product board. A product manager is going to take a look at this. Our head of product is going to take a look at it. They're going to put this in the pipeline of where it's going to go. So your thoughts are going to get shared here. So yeah, if you have an idea, or arguably if you'd also like to like upvote a feature, I think there's the upvoting feature.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
how important it is to you. You can, I think that's useful.
Yeah. I think, and you know what, I'm going to do this right now. I wonder if, do I need to be logged in? I'm going to go critical. You do need to be logged in again, but that's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, right, we want to be able to inform you about when these changes happen. So the nice thing about adding your email address is like, you'll know when things are changing. And this is not like we're going to send you marketing emails. This is like, we're going to let you know when a change has happened, or you'll get updated when this updates. So yeah, definitely check that out. Yeah, and then also I'll say here on the roadmap, you can also check things that have like released. So like we talked about audiences, CLI improvements, like bucketing changes, variable schemas, like all of the stuff that's here. You can get a big list of all the changes. Like this is a ton. There's so many changes. Like look at, we do a lot. Like that's in 1 year. We introduced like better sign up flow, quick start guide, SDK changes, variable archiving, edit, like so much stuff. We're just getting started.
We are, yeah.
Really. Exactly. All right. So I know we're running a little bit over. Parth, you got a little bit more time for us to kind of finish things off?
Yeah, I've some time, yeah.
Awesome. So we are at the point in the stream where I also want to talk about another place where you can find some of these exciting changes and updates and have conversations with the team, and that is over on our DevCycle Discord. And we're up there on the screen. I'm actually can I share it? I'm gonna pull this. The one thing I dislike about Mac is like the whole full screen thing. I need to unfull screen one thing before I full screen another thing. Let's get this up here, and I'm gonna go back over here. Oh my goodness! Let's go
look
here.
at you using Google Chrome.
Right? What is going on with me?
Do you need an invite for Arc?
No, I've got my Arc invite.
Oh,
Why can't I open anything right now? Oh, there we go. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can figure this out. All right, there we go. All right, now I'll close that down. Oh, and let's stop. There are so many things happening on my screen right now, and I'm not prepared for it. Stop screen. Present, share screen, holy moly, all of the things. Let's share this one, window. Perfect. All right, so this is our Discord channel where you can see that I was putting things up about our stream changes. Yeah, so you can see here, this is where we do all the updates. If you've got feature requests, you can also add the feature requests over here. You can also, this is a cool feature that we don't talk about a lot. You can actually have a conversation with Kappa AI. I think that's really cool. It's an AI. You can like literally ask it questions about DevCycle, like Kappa AI, how awesome is Parth? And let's see if it answers. I feel like it's gonna search our documentation for that answer, and we'll see if you're mentioned anywhere in our docs, Parth. And what this is doing is actually going through our can't say anything about you. But it's actually going through our doc. So if you have a specific question around DevCycle and you want to know the answer to that question and you don't want to search the docs yourself, you can just go and kind of search here in our docs. You can also actually now, I believe we just added AI to our intercom. So if you're over in DevCycle docs, which I'm going to pull up now, question mark. Let's see if I can get this up. Oh, let me unshare this now. Stop sharing my screen. And I'm going to reshare this other screen again. All of the screen shares. Come on. There you go. Let's go. Chrome tab, window, entire screen. I'm done with this one window at a time. Yes. But yeah, if you go over to docs.devcycle.com, you are able to I've lost the plot. Oh, here we go. Yes, intercom. Over here in the corner, you click on this. You can actually ask some questions about DevCycle, and it will also search through our docs, which is really exciting. Also, over here in our docs, you can check out our release notes. So we were talking about those new features. You can check out our release notes here. And in just a minute, I'm going to give you a sneak preview of some changes that are coming to our docs like very soon. I was going to launch them on Friday, but that's a terrible idea. So they'll be coming next week. So check out our docs. But before we go over there, I do just want to say, and no one has taken advantage of this yet, so please somebody take advantage. If you head over to our documentation right now and you not to our documentation, to our Discord right now, you at Parth or myself, you will be entered for a chance to win one of 3 $20 gift cards. I will send it to you virtually. It'll be accessible anywhere in your country. If there's only 3 people that submit their names, then literally everybody is going to get a $20 gift card. So if you are on this stream, you do not work for DevCycle. I repeat, you are not a DevCycle employee. And you are joining our Discord server and sending it to me or Parth, and you can literally find us. Oh, what is up?
We got one.
What is up? Yes, King Itaj. So we are you are getting one of those $20 gift cards. It's going on the list. You're going in there. So if anybody else is in there, head over to our Discord right now, bit.ly/DevCycle Discord, at Parth, at me. And you'll get entered for a chance to win one of these $20 gift cards. Last chance before we move on. It's cash just for watching. I want to send you some awesome stuff just for watching us on stream. And you got the Parth experience today too. So
I didn't think about the stream background and the shirt I'm wearing because it kind of blends in, and I'm like,
ooh, I like that you just wanted to call attention to your Blue Jays jersey. That was subtle. That was subtle. That was very subtle. How are the Jays doing this season?
They're up and down. It at the end of the day, it just depends on like who they're playing and how many injuries they're going through or not. But
yeah, that's fair.
Whose name is on the back? Oh, that's a good question. You want to see the name on the back?
Yeah, let's see it. Donaldson?
Yes.
Donaldson is on the back.
From the MVP year. It's like that's like 2015-16, I believe. Yep. MVP Amazing. Donaldson.
Amazing. All right. I promised that there was going to be something else that came on here. And that thing was going to be, I wanted to give folks a preview of our upcoming docs changes. So I'm going to do that right now, drag this over here and share my screen again, because I think this is really exciting. This is a future update that's happening. So we're up there right now. So if you've been to our docs recently, you'll know that docs are, actually, I'm going to leave the banner up because I want some more people to win some cash. Yeah. So head over to our Discord, win some cash. But if you look at our docs right now, this is our existing docs at DevCycle. So you can see here, and there we go. We're full screen there now. So it's awesome. I love these docs. They're great. They're beautiful. You can jump in. Home will give you through kind of a walkthrough of all the things you need to know, our SDK documentation, API stuff, resources, community, all the rest of the stuff is linked there. But things are changing all the time at DevCycle. We're constantly rolling out new features. And so I realized, and I think the team realized, that we needed to make some updates to our documentation. So I wanted to just give you a preview of what these are likely going to look like. We won't focus on that. But if you look here, this is sort of the new landing page for our documentation. Gone is the home, because this is technically the home when you click on here. So as you kind of jump into the DevCycle documentation, this is what you're going to see now. So sort of directing you to the really important places: our quick start, our SDKs, our integrations, and our CLI. And then really walking you through kind of the core pieces that you need to know with DevCycle. So starting off with our quick start, you got a video featuring some awesome guy there, walking you through how to set things up with the dashboard and kind of a walkthrough here. An overview, our CTO Jonathan did this awesome overview of our of our architecture, so you can take a look at this. And then some really important things here about things like our some core concepts to understand with DevCycle. So like feature types. So we have lots of feature types in the platform, and understanding what those are. And then also our feature hierarchy. So within DevCycle, you don't just have features. You have variables within features, and you have variations of features. And so just understanding the way that all of these pieces work together is really important. Obviously, some essentials about how to use DevCycle, walking you through sort of everything CLI first as well. So you'll notice in every section in here, we start with managing things from the CLI and then focus on the dashboard. Every area that's in here, we're sort of showing you how easy it is to do it with the CLI and giving you some code examples here. Everything you need to know. Jumping into our extras. So you don't need to know about variable schemas to get started, but if you do want to know about variable schemas, you can jump in here, like advanced targeting rules, things like custom properties and audiences, and our feature opt-in. And then obviously focusing in on our integrations, because we've got a lot of them out there, a direct link to our roadmap that we showed you, a direct link to our release notes. And then I think the similarly really, really exciting thing is also really bringing our DevCycle example apps to the forefront of what we're doing. And so we have an example app for every single one of our SDKs. In fact, we've got multiple example apps for most of our SDKs. So in here, you can check out client-side apps. You can check out server-side apps that are using our cloud and local bucketing. And if you want to learn, you can click here to find the link in there. You can also check out our our mobile example apps. These are going to be getting a lot of work over the next couple of months. But now it's so much easier for you. You are an iOS developer that uses Objective-C or Swift. You can go in here and it links directly to that repo. And then you can get an idea of how to get started with this. So tons of really exciting stuff coming to our documentation. Definitely check this out. It's going to be, I'm so excited for this to launch next week, and really interested in people's feedback as it comes out. So but really exciting stuff, and hoping this new structure helps people to find the things they need to find on the DevCycle platform. What do you think, Parth? You're a developer. Does this look a little bit more intuitive to you?
It does, yeah. I mean, and it's not to say that the current view is not is not as intuitive, but I think this organizes things a little differently, and I think it's a little better as well. Like you can see a lot of things more clearly, and we can highlight a lot of things. So, as you said, CLI first, making people's life easier, right? Like one command can get you things, then why go through like 6 clicks if you know what you're doing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that's really cool.
So I'm really excited. I think with that, like, just so you know, folks that are kind of checking these things out, we are going to be kind of screenshot light for the first little while that these come out. We are really focusing on trying to make our documents as up to date as possible. And so that's why CLI doesn't really change a huge amount, right? It's changing some code samples in there. So being CLI first, being code first, we focus on not having to worry about all of the changes that we're constantly making to our UI to make it more intuitive. Because I mean, if we're doing a really good job with our UI, it means we don't need to write documentation for it. It'll be so smooth for you. You'll be able to understand it. You can read just a couple of words that I write and it'll all make sense. So with that said, we started a half an hour late. We're now about a half an hour over. We've just hit the 1 hour mark for the stream. But Parth, I know you got like engineering demos coming up after this. I'm pretty sure I might get called in to do some engineering demos today too. You never know.
I can arrange that.
Yeah, you think that? I'd love to show people docs. I feel like people are really busy, so like I feel like you may or may not lead engineering demos. But yeah, I'm so excited. I just want to say thanks again, Parth. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for covering for all of the things as the stream went slightly awry, and for going so deep into all of our stuff. And again, if you are just kind of tuning in to the end of the stream, we were talking about audiences, we were talking about variable schemas, we were talking about our beta features. Parth did a really good job at showing all of those. So be sure to catch the stream VOD, which is going to go up on YouTube in probably like later on today. But yeah, with that, I'll turn it over to you, Parth, for kind of the final parting words for the stream today. What would you like to say to everybody that's watching?
I already said what I wanted to, like highlight some features, but I would actually say go to the roadmap and like let us know what you want to let us know what you think is important, and like it'll give us like a better idea of like what people are thinking and like what where things are in terms of like is our roadmap kind of up to date with what everybody else thinks. And it's like I think that's a good kind of little thing to have as back of our mind, is like, okay, this is what the users want. Can we do this quickly? And if we can, then we prioritize things differently.
I love it. So everybody, if you don't already, make sure to follow us on Twitter, X, whatever it's called now. We're on Threads. We're on everywhere. We're on the internet. So find us on the internet. Look up DevCycle HQ, and you'll find us there. Be sure to follow us. Follow me, I guess, here on Twitch as well. But also follow us over at DevCycle HQ. And again, thank you so much for watching. Tune in. I think next Friday I'm going to be live for our first dev tools and dev cools with Nick. So we're going to be exploring some of the dev tools that we use within DevCycle and talking about some cool dev news that's out there. So be sure to check that out. Just looking forward to seeing people around the community. So join us on Discord. Just throw one last time our Discord, how to join our community up there. And aside from that, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. See you around the DevCycle community, and have an amazing rest of your day, everybody. Bye-bye.